What are stem cells? When most people think about stem cells, they associate it with a transplant. Here, these cells are called to replace tissue damaged by disease and injury. Whether it be replacing neurons from a spinal cord injury, stroke, Alzheimer's, or Parkinson's disease, stem cells have a large impact in the medical field.
Embryonic stem cells can even help us study and find clues on how we can induce a heart to repair itself and identify new drugs without ever changing a single cell. Less than a dozen cell-based therapies have been approved, as many of the clinical trials on them have just started recently.
How do scientists test stem cell therapies? Stem cells can differentiate into several tissues of the body, so they are first differentiated into the required cell type. Once that has been achieved, we need to test if the cells can act the way we want them to once transplanted into a body. For that, they are usually first transplanted into animal models of the disease to see if the cells help cure or alleviate the symptoms. Often, several animal models have to be tested before we are satisfied with the result. Is there a risk of immune rejection from stem cells? Generally, yes. If the stem cells were won from a different source than the patient, then the patient needs to undergo immune suppressive treatments similar to those of organ transplants. However, if cells are won from the patient and were programmed into pluripotent cells, so-called iPS cells, then they are a perfect genetic match, and the patient's immune system should in principle not reject them. However, this has not been studied extensively enough to be absolutely certain. Which science skills do you use in your research? Looking at this list, all the skills of number sense I use daily. The skills under data sense I use at least weekly when I analyze my data. And knowledge sense, again, is something that I use daily or at least weekly.
Although it will be years before all these treatments become available to the masses, FDA approval is a necessary and important step to ensure that it is safe as well as effective for general usage. As frustrating as this may be, in overseas clinics there have been quite a few unfortunate cases where stem cells were not adequately tested and patients suffered as a result.